I am advised that the jury has a verdict. All parties are present and the defendant is here. I'll expect no outbursts when I read the verdict one way or another, and I will direct the bailiffs to escort anyone out who violates this directive. Are there any matters that we need to discuss before we bring in the jury and receive the verdict?
No, for the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Bring in the jury. Madam Foreperson, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, sir.
Would you hand that verdict to the bailiff who will transmit it to the court? Would the defendant please rise? In the case of State of West Virginia versus Natalie Page Cochran, case number 23-F-343K, the jury verdict is as follows. We, the jury on the issues, joined unanimously find the following. The defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree. The verdict form is signed by Holly Rich, foreperson of the jury. It is dated 1/29/2025. There are no marks on the portion of the verdict form pertaining to involuntary manslaughter. Does the state wish to examine the jury verdict form?
Thank you.
Does the defense?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
You may be seated. Is there a request for the court to poll the jury?
Not for the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. The verdict is received by the court and directed to be recorded. I'll ask the state to prepare an appropriate order in the premises. The court accepts the jury verdict and finds this defendant guilty of murder in the first degree. The defense will be afforded time to file all appropriate motions, and as we discussed earlier, we must have further proceedings concerning the aspect of mercy. I would like to do that right away, and perhaps to commence this afternoon. I can afford the defense or the state 2 hours to prepare, and we can go directly into the mercy phase.
Your Honor, as we pointed out to the court, we cannot have our witnesses prepared in 2 hours. Specifically, we anticipate calling the children. They are not close by at all. They're in school.
Well, Matthew. No. What? I can't hear you.
I've been corrected on that particular point, but we have to get in touch with our other witnesses. It will take considerable time to do that. We have to make sure they can get here, and we respectfully request to continue these proceedings and have the mercy portion sometime tomorrow.
What saith the state, Mr. Truman?
Your Honor, the state's prepared to go forward. We understand the defense situation. If they could proffer a number of witnesses they're going to have, that might be helpful. And if they can't start out today, then we defer to the court's judgment.
All right. Members of the jury, let me explain to you the circumstances. You have found the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree. There is another aspect that you must consider, and that is whether or not to afford to her mercy. If she receives mercy, she will be eligible for parole in 15 years. If she